we are going to first write the code to display the letters together. So in this case, what we need to make sure, L, I and O are getting displayed here, but N is displayed in the next row. So to represent a word horizontally, there should be enough number of columns. That is, if the word is lion and if it is to be displayed horizontally, as each letter is displayed in consecutive columns, there should be enough number of columns. So how we can check whether there are enough number of columns or not? If we add the column number and the number of characters or number of letters in a word, it should be less than or equal to 12, right? Only 12 columns are there. This is 10, that is column number of this one is 10. 10 plus 4 is 14, which means that it is greater than 12. So this word cannot be placed here horizontally as there are not enough number of columns. So what we can do, we can adjust this position, and if we start from here or here, there will be enough number of columns, right? So what we are going to do is that if the column number, that is the starting values column number plus the number of letters in that particular word is less than or equal to 12, then we will place in that particular position itself. That is, this is T. The column number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus the number of letters are 5. So 6 plus 5 is less than 12, which means that we can place it here itself. But if the column number here it is 10 plus 4 is not less than 12, in that case we will subtract the number of letters from 12 and that will be considered as the new column number. That is, if this is the case, 10 plus 4 is greater than 12. So what we will do, we will subtract 4, that is the number of characters, from 12, which means that it will be 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We will start from here. So we can get the column number by subtracting 12 minus 4. So 8 will be the column number and we don't have to adjust the row number. We can display the letters here itself. So using the row and column number, we can get the starting position or this div element's index. So we will set it as the new start value. Similarly, in case of vertical representation, there should be actually enough number of rows. As the letters are displayed in each row, there should be enough number of rows. So in that case as well, we will check if the row number plus the number of characters is less than or equal to 12. In that case, we will place it here itself. But if it is greater than 12, we will adjust the new position by subtracting the number of letters from 12, and that row number will be considered as the new row value. So we are going to make that adjustment so that all the letters will be displayed together either horizontally and vertically. So let's do that part now. So here, if my orientation equals horizontal, we need to check the column numbers, right? Because when we have to represent a word horizontally, there should be enough number of columns. So before that, let me get the column number and row number for each start value. So how we can get it? Let me represent where current row. How we can get the current row number? If I specify $.letter, that is all the 144 div elements, then here plus start, this will give the current div element. And if I use .data of row, I am using the data method, and we have already added a data row and data column attribute, that are custom data attributes for each div element. So the row number can be collected using data row attributes value. So using the data method, I just have to specify the value or the name after the hyphen. So it is row. So this will give me the current row number. Similarly, I can get where current column equals again $.letter to select all the div elements. Then, oh, here I forgot to specify EQ. Okay. So this is .letter, then eq, okay, and here put a plus. This is because the value is a variable. If we just directly write eq start, then it will be considered as a string. That is why I am ending the string and again starting it. Then here we need to specify data of column. Okay, so we are getting current row and current column values. Next, what we need to do here, we need to make sure that if current column, because in case of horizontal orientation, we need to have enough number of columns, plus we need to get the characters or the number of characters in each word, right? We will have to repeatedly use it. So here let me specify where letter count equals my words of I dot length. This will give the number of characters in that particular word dot length. So if current column, that will be a number, plus letter count, okay, if it is less than or equal to 12, then what we can do, let me have a new variable called new start, where new start equal to 0. We are going to make adjustments if required and assign it as a new start value. So here for uniformity, let me specify new start equal to start itself, because as there are enough number of columns, we don't have to make any adjustments. In the else part, that is, if current column plus letter count is greater than 12, then what we need to do, we need to get a new column number, right? That is, if this is the case, there are not enough number of columns, then we need to move the starting position towards the left hand side. So for that, what I'm going to do is that, let me specify where new column equals 12 minus letter count. So what will be the result? 12 minus 4 is here. So 4 is the letter count. 12 minus 4 means 8. So 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th. So this will be the new start position. So here we have collected the new column number. Next we need to get the starting position. That is, with this column number and the already collected row number, we can get this starting position. So let me specify here new start equals, how I can get it? If I specify $dot letter, okay, with data row equal to current row itself, because we don't have to change the row number. So we can place it in the current row itself. So current row, but the column number should be the new one. So we are collecting the start value or the new starting position so that we can pass it here, right? So new start equals $dot letter, which means all the div elements will be selected, and from there we are getting the div element with data row as the current row and data column as the new value. So here let me put an equal sign, end this string and start a new string, and in between let me specify the new column number. So this is the new column number. So this will return the div element which is having the current row number and the new column number, which means in this case 8th, 9th, 10th. So this is the new column number. The row number is already collected. So now this div element is selected. So this will actually return a div element. We are just selecting a div element. As we want to get it as a number or the index, we need to use index method. So this will give us the new start position. That is the starting value or the index of this one. So it will be 12, 24, 36, which is 35, 34, 33, 32 and 31. So 31 will be the new start value. Okay. So this is for the case of horizontal orientation. Next, what we need to do? We need to do the same for vertical as well. So here for vertical, we need to check for the current row, because there should be enough number of rows in case of vertical display. So how we can write it? If current row plus letter count is less than or equal to 12, in that case we don't have to do anything because there are enough number of spaces. So we can just specify new start equal to start, right? In the else part, what we have to find, we need to get a new row number. So again, where new row should be assigned, it can be collected like 12 minus letter count. Actually, instead of subtracting it from 12, you can even do it from 10 as well. That is, if you subtract it from 10, what will happen? 10 minus 4 will be 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will start from here. As there are 12 rows and columns, I am subtracting it from 12. Okay. Letter count. Then what we need to do? We need to find the new start position. So new start equals again $dot letter. In this case, we need to get it for the new row. So data row equals, let me end this, put a new string and plus new row, again put a plus. So data row is here. Then we need to specify for data column as well. So data column, what should be the value of data column? We don't have to make any change to the column number in this case. Why? Because suppose the word is getting displayed here. Say the word is cat. C and A are here. T is not here. So we have to change the row number towards the top. But the column number can be the same itself. We don't have to move this to the next column, right? We can display it in the same column, but the starting position should start from the top div element. So data column can be current column itself. We don't have to change the column number. And then what we need to do, we need to get the index, because this will return just a div element, but we need to get it as a number. So dot index. Next, what we need to do here, instead of start, it should be new start. Now let me save this and check the output.